Hey guys, I'm here today to show you my Lego Balisong, which I made because I want to practice inside, but Dad doesn't want me using my real one inside because, one, I would cut the carpet, two, I might punch a hole in the drywall. That would not be good. So, but this is very functional. I can do all the tricks that I know on it. That was a bad one. But so I'm going to show you what you need and how to build it. It's very functional. I based the design partially off, I think his name's Cyrus Wolf. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but at least the portion of the blade design, I based that off his. But I added the latch and I made it to where the handles will no longer wobble up and down. Because like, here Nate, toss me that one. Because like on his design, the blades can wobble. At least from what I got from his design, the blades can wobble up and down, but mine do not. So
yeah, mine's back. Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to show you how to build one with very basic pieces. So these are the pieces you are going to need. The one piece you may not have is this. It's a 3x3T. I only had 2 in my vast collection, and I've been collecting Legos since I was 8, now 15, so that's 7 years of Legos, and I only have 2 of these. I think they're a newer piece though, so if you don't have one of these, just look at Cyrus Wolf's tutorial and use his design, because that works just as well. I just wanted mine to be a little more sturdy. So you will need 4 1x15 beams. 2 of these, I don't know exactly what to call them, but you know, take a good look and find yourself 2 of them. You will need 5 of these 3 beam connectors. I say 3 beam because you could fit 3 beams side by side on them. But you will need 2 of them that are either a black or a blue color, because they don't spin as easily. But then you'll need 3 that are a gray or a tan color, because those rotate a little more easily, and so those will be used for the latch and where the latch attaches to the handle and where the handle's attached to the blade. You will need 4 of these 4-hole half-width beam connectors, 1 T-beam, like I showed you earlier, 1 of these where the axle portion is perpendicular to the round portions, 1 2-length axle, 6 3-length axles, 1 right angle connector with an axle in this end and a round in this end, 2 half-width 1-hole spacers, 5 full-width 1-hole spacers, and obviously a blade. Any blade. Once you build the Balisong, you can experiment with different blades. This is just one that I found that worked on my other one, so I'm using it here. All right. So the first step will be to construct your handles. Take 2 of your 15 long portions, and we'll build the bite handle first. Take 1 of your gray or tan rods and stick it in the very end so that the little bump here goes up against the rod. Then take your right angle bracket and slide that on like so. We're then going to take 1 of our 3-length axles, push that in there, 1 of our full width spacers, push that on there, and then one of these, and push that on there. Push it on there like this, where the long side is perpendicular to the whole length of the blade. Yeah, like that. Okay. Then we're going to take our 2 black or blue 3 rod connectors and push them in like we did the first. Sorry, you're going to leave a space between this one and these 2. Then you're going to take this piece and push it on like so, and take a three length axle and push it through so there is an equal amount on either side. Then you're going to take two of your one length spacers and push them on either side. Now you can close up your bite handle and set that aside. The safe handle is much more easy to construct. You simply take this piece and pop it on one hole above any end of the of one side of the handle and push the other side on. So it looks like that. Now moving on to the blade. This part is a little more complicated. You're going to first take your T. The first step involves the T2 of your half width, 4 length beams and a 1/3 axle connector. You're going to push the 3 axle connector through the junction of the T, like this, and stick a half length connector on each end, with an equal amount sticking past each. So it now looks like this. Okay, now you're going to put your blade in here so that the top hole aligns with this axle here, and push your 2 length axle through there. But it's still kind of floppy, so the way we lock this in place is we push a 3 length axle through the second. So you're going to line up these holes on your beams and your sword, and you're going to push it through, and you're going to push your 3 beam through there. And don't let it fall out. Now the 3 beam isn't going to stay in there, so you're going to take your other 2 4 beams and push those on top of each one, so they extend down. Now you have locked it, but this beam is still kind of loose. So you're now going to take a 3 and your 2 half spacers, because there's a half space between these 2 beams here and these 2 beams here, and you can push. What I like to do is not break the thing. What I like to do is I like to get it started, put my spacer in there, hold it in place with this finger, and then push the axle through with my other hand, spinning the spacer as I need, to push it through, and then I stop before I get to the next hole, which I didn't do this time, so I have to push it back through, and then I put the other spacer in there and push it through all the way. Okay, now we're going to construct the tang pin. You take a 3 length axle and cap it with 2 1 length spacers, like so. So that's the blade construction. Excuse me, we have 2 more pieces. These each go on the outer edges of the T, so that the handles can attach. Now we're going to attach the handles. Obviously, the non-sharp side of the blade is going to be where the safe handle goes, and you can just kind of bend these apart as you put them on, and it does not matter which direction, because obviously they're going to be ambidextrous, or they're not ambidextrous, but you could flip them around if you needed to. And that is your Balisong. Now, if you were wondering about some of the quirky design, this spacer here just keeps the handles apart so that it feels a little more like a real Balisong, which wouldn't completely close. The handles wouldn't be touching at the bottom. And so they're on both sides so that it does it on both the opening and closing. And the latch doesn't actually do anything. It's just there for moves like the latch drop. So yeah, that's how you build a Lego Balisong. So I hope that video was helpful for you. You can now build a Lego Balisong if you don't have one and want to see if you want to get into the sport, or like me, your parents don't want you using the real one inside for safety and for safety purposes for both you and the house. But yeah, it's fully functional. It will flip just like a real one, and you could even do the latch drop, which, you know, a lot of the Balisongs out there on YouTube don't have a latch, but I added one simply because latch drop is my favorite move. But you can even do really complicated moves like the backhand twirl, and it flips just really well. You know, obviously you couldn't do it quite as fast as a normal Balisong, simply because it doesn't have the mass of a real Balisong, so you can't get as much momentum. And that is one thing. The only one I have trouble doing with my Lego Balisong is the ice pick spin, where you're relying on the momentum of the knife to kind of rotate it through your fingers. But the Lego one tends not to do that, so that's about the only one I can't do. But it's still doable. But you know, any of your basic moves, nothing that requires too much. Like, I don't think you would be able to do any type of aerial. I don't know how to do an aerial, so I don't know. But you may not be able to do one of those with this simply because there's not enough mass. But for flipping inside, it's a good alternative. So that's my video on my Lego Balisong. Thanks for watching.